Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about the Washington Commanders and kicker Joey Slye agreeing to a 2-year deal worth up to $5 million. We'll talk about that, and I'll give you guys a quick cap space update because you guys have been asking about that. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm on the road to 7,500 subscribers, so please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And please follow the Twitter, trying to get to 1,000 followers on there. Link is in the description. Now, let's get right into the video. Okay, so let me read this tweet right here from Ian Rappaport. He says the Commanders and kicker Joey Slye agreed to terms on a 2-year deal worth up to nearly $5 million with $2 million in guarantees. Source said one of the top kickers, Slye, made 92% of his kicks last year and excelled on kickoffs. So good for Joey Slye, and I think this is a good move for the Washington Commanders. Originally, they tendered him, so it was like going to be a 1-year guaranteed deal. I think it was like around $2 million. Now they got him under contract for 2 years, worth up to $5 million. But again, the agent is giving this news right here to Ian Rappaport and everyone. So I always say this, but in a couple days, this deal will look at least a little bit different, and probably a lot different. So it'll probably be something similar to like a 2-year, $4 million deal with like something, with some incentives and stuff like that. It'll be a low cap hit probably this year, probably around $2 million or less. So it's not going to be a huge cap hit. And I like this for Washington because Joey Slye was really solid for us last year, but also at the same time, it was a small sample size. So you don't want to lock him down for like 5 years without knowing if he is a good kicker in this league. He was a great kicker for us last year, but again, a short period of time, sorry. So I think that, locking him down for 2 years and, they probably can get out of it after the first year's over, I think that is a very, very solid deal because Joey Slye last year was pretty good for the Washington Commanders. Of course, played for the Carolina Panthers before, but, struggled a little bit. 78% field goal percentage in 2019, 81% in 2020, and then kind of in 2021 was 4 for 5 with the Texans, was 7 for 8 with the 49ers, and was 12 for 12 for the Washington Commanders. Has struggled a little bit with his extra points over his career, but with Washington he did well for the most part. I think he missed one extra point, but it was blocked, and it really wasn't his fault because the offensive line kind of collapsed and he really had no chance. And of course, he tore his hamstring or tweaked his hamstring on that play, so that was really unfortunate. And, he is a good kicker, or a good kickoff guy as well. Like Ian Rappaport said, he's a big guy. I think he benched like over 350 pounds in college. So he's definitely a unique kicker for sure. Also played college football at Virginia Tech. So kind of another local guy. You love to see that as well. And overall, I think, not a huge move. And we already knew he was going to be a part of the Washington Commanders for this year. Now we know it's over a 2-year deal. And, it could end up being a steal. I'm happy, we got him locked up because, he was a really good kicker for us. And, we've had Dustin Hopkins, who was good at times, but cost us a lot of big games. So I'm excited to see what Joey Slye can do, for us for the next couple years. And, he's not bad in terms of like 50+ yard kicks. I mean, in 2020, he was, I'm not sure, because he was 1 for 6 in 2020 for 50+ yards. I'm not sure if a lot of those were like 60+ or like 58+, stuff like that, because the rest of his career, pretty dang good at 50+ yarders. 8 for 11 in 2019, 1 for 1 or actually 4 for 4 in 2021. So we'll see, but for us, he was 1 for 1, over 50 yards. So glad that we got him locked down, and we'll see what he does for us in the next couple years. Real quick cap update for you guys, because you guys have been asking. So right now, the Washington Commanders have around $10.7 million in cap space. That doesn't count the Joey Slye deal. So again, I think it's going to be an under $2 million cap hit. So we'll be at around 8.7 million, probably around $9 million in cap space. And also we have to use around $4.5 million for our rookies, so you subtract that from the total, but we get around $11.8 million with the Landon Collins post June 1st cut. So after June 1st, we'll get $11.882 million, and that'll help maybe towards a Terry McLaurin extension, maybe a Deron Payne extension, maybe a bringing in some other guys after the draft. There's a lot of different possibilities for the Washington Commanders after June 1st when they get a ton of cap space, because right now, it's not like they have a really little amount of cap space, but it's not that much, especially again when you consider this Joey Slye deal, and the bigger part is the rookies that they have to pay. But they still have a little over $5 million, around $5 million after you consider the Joey Slye deal and the rookies. If they, the cap hit isn't too high on Joey Slye, which I don't think it will be, they still have money to spend on maybe a linebacker, maybe some guard depth. I think they can address guard depth in the draft, but I think addressing defensive line depth in the draft is a little bit tougher. It's hard to get in, impact players in the mid rounds right away, but you can get someone like Akeem Hicks or maybe even Star Lutulelli for pretty cheap, and those guys are going to be impact players, good guys in the locker room right away. So that's kind of the cap space update for the Washington Commanders. Maybe after the draft or maybe after they sign a few other guys, I'll go in more detail about the specific contracts and different things like that. But that's going to do it for today's video. I might post another video later today about Drake London. We will see though. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Peace, guys.